Hi, my name's Gabriella, welcome to my channel. So it's January right now, and for anybody at university that probably means that you're back at university now and probably having to deal with exams. If you're on a club or society committee, then you've probably got a lot to think about right now. And last year, that was me. For the past 2 years, it's been me actually. And this year is the first year that I haven't had to go back, do my exams, and also be thinking about the club or society that I'm helping run. Just to give you a rough idea of the kind of things I did, in my second year I was social secretary of a club, and I also took part in 2 other groups. And in my third year, just to make things a bit more difficult, I was president of the same club, and I was media officer for a new society that I helped found, as well as taking part in another club and the same 2 groups as the year before. Because, you know, why not make it easy for yourself in third year? But it just got me thinking, and I feel like I maybe have a bit of advice to offer when it comes to running societies or clubs. So I thought, as a quick little pick-me-up January video, I would do a top 5 things that I learnt while on committee of a club or society at university. Hopefully they'll teach you things the easy way instead of you having to find out by yourself the hard way, because I learnt some of these the very hard way, and trust me, it's not fun. So anyway, the first thing that I would say is quite important is that you're not going to please everybody. No matter how much you would like to, there will always be at least 1 or 2 people who are quite vocal about how much they disagree with you, and that might just be some of the members, or it might be people on committee with you. And while obviously you want to try and make everyone happy, it's not going to happen. You should still try to listen to those people arguing against you, because it'll help keep you open-minded and making sure that you're not just going down the track of this is what I want to be doing. And you know, it's good to hear the other side. Just keep in mind that you're not going to necessarily be able to please everyone, and don't get upset over it. A lot of the times it's nothing personal that they have an issue with, it will just be an issue with something happening the way things are running, and they won't mean that personally. Sometimes they do, but most of the time it's not an issue with you as a person, so try not to get too upset by it. Equally, if there's a lot of people saying they don't like something or they really want something to happen, don't feel pressured to act on it immediately. People will calm down. I mean, it can be good to kind of say something immediately, but you don't need to take an action and do something official immediately. Sleep on it, think it out, talk to your other committee members about it, then do something. Don't feel the pressure to immediately, as soon as people are shouting at you about something, to, you know, start calling the rest of the committee up and be like, we need to do something now, we need to do something now, because you'll just get completely worked up about it, and it'll be so much stress for something that probably in the grand scheme of things isn't that big of a deal. Most issues that you will face, some of them can turn out to be quite big deals, but most of the time, give it a few weeks and it'll be history. So don't get worked up over it. The second thing is delegation. So this is probably more of a presidential thing than an individual committee member, but then again that can also be seen from the general committee member side as sharing responsibilities. Essentially, if you don't have time to get everything done, tell the rest of the committee and get other people to help you with it, because they will, unless they want the club or society to fail, in which case, how did they get on committee? Basically, don't be afraid to ask for help. I struggled with this quite a bit. I kept wanting to do more and thinking that I knew exactly how I wanted something to be done, therefore I should do it. But at the end of the day, the committee is a team, and you have to rely on your teammates, otherwise nothing's going to get done. And even if you do have time to get everything done, it can be good to get other opinions on something. It can be good to share the workload. You might even come up with something better with lots of people working on it. So it can be really useful to work together on things and delegate. Tying into this a little bit, my third tip is organisation. I was pretty on this, but still somehow things managed to slip through. Even just a calendar with deadlines and events and things in it just a paper one, or if you're like, you know, all techie and up there, you have an online shared one that, you know, the whole committee or maybe even the whole society or club can see, is so useful and very understated. Like, I would say, to be honest, having an up-to-date calendar with all your deadlines, all of your events, all your trainings or meetings or whatever it is, or your socials, having a calendar like that so you just know when everything's happening, when things need to happen by, is so unbelievably useful. Even if you're not a very organised person yourself, even if you don't want to organise all the things that you personally need to do, just making sure you know when things need to happen by will save you so much. Like, if you've got an away tournament and you need to book accommodation, don't just put in the tournament, put in the deadline for the last time that you can change the booking for free, because something might come up, and it's good to know that if something does come up, this is the deadline. If you're really organised and have your planner all sorted and everything, that's great, but just making sure that you're on top of everything, it will save you a lot of stress. My fourth thing is a bit of a recruitment tip, but it seemed to be something that people weren't quite so sure on, so I thought I would throw it in with my top 5, because it can have quite a big impact on how your club or society runs for the year, and that is your socials. Again, this might seem more specific as more of a social secretary job, but you know, the president will look into this. You're probably going to have a finance person, if you have a finance person, looking into like what you're spending on socials. Like, if you're going and organising events, you might have a, you know, travel officer or something who's invested in it, or the media officer might be needed to help promote it. So it can pull in a lot of different roles, and also it can be good to, you know, get ideas from the rest of the committee. And basically, the deal with socials is at the beginning of term, do not be afraid to have too many socials. This was something that some of my clubs and societies and things struggled with quite a bit, and some people were like, no, we don't want to have too many socials for the freshers, they won't turn up, it'll be too much. And basically, I feel like the correct answer for socials and how many you should be doing, how frequently you should be doing them at the beginning of term, is do as many as you feasibly can. Freshers will not feel like it's too much. People come to university looking for a group of friends. Sometimes they end up doing things they never thought they'd do because they find a great group of people, and you want to show freshers that you are that group of people and get them to stay, and the way to do that is socialise with them. And the more opportunities you have to socialise with people, the more likely it is you're going to find people who will want to stay. And I'm not saying do a club night out every single night of the week. What I'm saying is have something going on. It only needs to be as much as you can handle as a club or society, how much your current members are willing to go to, because let's not forget, you can't just organise something and have none of your current members there, because there won't be anything for them to join. It'll just be a group of freshers together. You need things that are going to be well attended by your current members, so make sure it's as frequent as your current members are willing to attend, but then don't really drop below that. You can do things during the day as well as in the evening, especially during Freshers Week, but essentially, unless you have a club or society that people know they want to join, usually sports clubs and sometimes course societies, unless you have one of those that people turn up being like, yes, I've played rugby for years, I'm going to go join the rugby club. Unless you have one of those, it's probably going to be a big free-for-all. So you need to be the ones organising events that people aren't going to want to miss out on. Basically, I think people worry that they'll do too many socials and freshers will get bored, but really all freshers want is to be going out, being social, meet people, and you've got to be the one to provide them with that. There probably is an amount that would be overkill, and try not to reach that, but I think it would be very hard to overkill within your resources. Yeah, I hope that made sense. I just feel like I was rambling about socials for quite a while because we had some problems with those. Not when I was running socials, of course. Never then. They were all outstanding, perfectly organised and arranged. It was great. And my fifth and final tip is to enjoy it. A lot of the time when you're on committee and trying to get things done, it can feel like you're herding cats. I think especially as a president, when you don't just have all the members that you're trying to organise, but a committee as well that you're kind of trying to organise and run, it can get a bit overwhelming. It can feel like a lot sometimes, especially if it's something you really care about, or it's, you know, quite an active club or society that does quite a lot. It can be tough, and I think you just have to remember that sometimes, even when things are tough, you've just got to sit back and, you know, enjoy what you have. And if there's something that's really difficult or something, sometimes the only answer is to laugh at it. You've got to remember, like, you're still at university. Don't take yourself or what you're doing really seriously. Like, yes, it'll be good experience for like later work, but right now you're at university. Enjoy it, because I think sometimes we can get really caught up in what we're doing and trying to do the best for everything and for the society or club, and you can forget to just enjoy it. You've probably been voted in, so you've been given like a privilege by your fellow members, and yeah, enjoy it, have fun with it. And there you have my top 5 tips for running a university club or society. I hope that they've been useful for you. I mean, that you don't have to find out the hard way, because sometimes some of these lessons can be quite hard learns. Like if you don't have enough socials at the beginning of term and your recruitment goes awfully. I mean, there will obviously be other factors if your recruitment goes awfully, but socials can really help. So I hope I've helped you avoid some of the painful lessons. There will be other ones you learn, like no year within a club or society will be the same as another year. So, you know, things change all the time and no one will have the same experience on a committee. But, yeah, hopefully this has been helpful, or at least relatable in some ways. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you learned while you were on committee, if you've ever been on committee at university, because I love to hear other people's stories about this. Like, it was a really fun time in my life, I really enjoyed it, and I like hearing about other people's experiences too. Drop me a comment below. And if you like this sort of stuff, like, I have a lot of stories and a lot more tips to share from when I was on committee at university, and just, you know, a lot of university stuff as well in general. So if you want to hear more stuff like that, then give this video a like so I know to do more videos like that, and subscribe so that you know when those videos come out. I will see you next time. Bye!